Welcome to Houma Bayou Bucks football. We're at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center for NIFL action tonight as the Houma Bayou Bucks play host to the Oklahoma Crude. My name's Tommy Kreis, and I'm joined by Ronnie Rance as the Houma Bayou Bucks have already clinched their division. They've got a playoff spot in the NIFL. Now they're trying to get some home field advantage where they can keep playing right here in Houma.
Well, last week they won 74-0. I mean, an unbelievable score. Not only did the defense dominate, but also offense was very good as well. They want to finish strong tonight and at Tupelo next week to get home field advantage because they feel like that's the key to get to the championship game next month.
You mentioned the score last week, 74-0. I repeat, 0 in indoor football. Had to be the story tonight was defense.
Well, Jack Phillips Jr. is a defensive guy. He was an All-American in college and in the pros, and he's a guy who really has had a very good defense for the last couple years. Turnovers was the name of the game. They got some interceptions. They forced fumbles. It seemed like Waco had trouble last week just taking the center quarterback exchange. Bucks really took advantage of a team in disarray, pummeled them, and believe me, 74-0 was a score, but I really believe, Tommy, it could have been worse than that.
Wow, as they say, defense wins championships. Defense is what gets it done. But don't forget, Doug Coleman and the offense can also do some great things. We're at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. It's Bayou Buck football, playing host to the Oklahoma Crude. We'll come back, get you the starting lineups, get you set for tonight's ball game with Ronnie Rance. My name's Tommy Kreis, and right here on Cox Sports Television. Go. Houma Terrebonne, a community steeped in its roots and culture, but engaged in economic growth and planning for its future. For more information, go to www.tpcg.org. That's www.tpcg.org. And we're here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, South Louisiana's favorite showplace and proud home of the Bayou Bucks. They invite you to come enjoy a football game or many other events held here, like Broadway shows, family shows, sporting events, concerts, and much more. For more information or a list of upcoming events, visit their website, www.houmaciviccenter.com. And we're underway. Strapola kicks off for the Bayou Bucks as the ball bounced through the end zone of the Oklahoma Crude. They'll get the ball to begin the game. Ronnie Rance and Tommy Kreis with you. Ronnie, as we talked about, Bayou Bucks trying to clinch home field in the playoffs of the NIFL, and their defense was spectacular last week. We get a look at the defense to start things here tonight. Quarterback for Oklahoma Crude, who come in with a record of 1-10. Dixie Wooten played his college ball at Texas El Paso. Pretty good-sized fellow. We don't have any heights and weights on the Oklahoma roster, but they'll play 1st and 10. Their own 5. Here's a handoff. Kenya will go nowhere. He's greeted immediately by Kentrell Blatcher and Andre Reed for the Bayou Bucks.
Well, you're talking about the Bayou Bucks team that a week ago pitched a shutout, which is unheard of in the NIFL. And a defense that I think got a little taste of that, and they'd like to try to do it again if possible.
Lost a couple of yards on the first play. So they'll play 2nd and 12. The Oklahoma Crude. Play action. Wooten is going to be hit and dropped after a short gain. Richard Griffin in on that stop. Also Andre Reed. Starting lineups for the Crude offense. You see the quarterback Wooten, running back Jock Kenya, wide receivers Lewis, Roy, and Kreiner. The tight end is Frederick. The offensive linemen are Anthony George and Kentrell Williams, the big guys up front for the Oklahoma Crude.
Starting lineup courtesy of Hampton Inn and Suites, 5 locations in the New Orleans area, 2 in Baton Rouge. Hampton Inn, our home away from home. Check out their beautiful convention center location in downtown New Orleans.
3rd and 9. Wooten in the shotgun. Going to go long, looking for the receiver up the right side. Picked off by Drew Email. He's going to get up and go with it. And once again, Email, he'll lateral to Sullivan Beard. 15, Beard still on his feet. Flag is down, Beard is down near the flag, near the Oklahoma 5-yard line. And again, it's the Bayou Buck defense.
Well, it's going to be offsides against Oklahoma, so the interception will stand. And that's Offsides against the offense. So that's Email's 7th interception of the year, which leads the team. And then he tosses it back to the exciting Sullivan Beard, a big-time return, and the offense 1st and goal at the 5.
We get a look at the replay. There's Email, the former Nickel State Colonel, makes the interception, uses his head there. He wasn't touched, so he gets up, and he'll end up lateraling to another former Colonel, Sullivan Beard. Well, Doug Coleman will get the offense on the field. 1st and goal from the Crude 5-yard line. Coleman from the shotgun fires right side, and it is a touchdown. No, they're going to say Scheckschneider got out just before the goal line. Here's the starting lineup for the Bayou Bucks. Doug Coleman, your quarterback. The running back, Jarvis Dunn. Wide receivers, Kevin Hurd, Darlin Chestnut, and Clint Scheckschneider, who just caught that ball. Up front, the big guys, Ryan Rogers, Troy Davis, and Lane Evans. Hampton Inn and Suites brings you to Bayou Bucks. Starting offense, gain of 4. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line as the Bayou Bucks. You see Coleman's numbers, 59% completion on the year, 59 touchdowns. Hand off to Dunn. He bounces off a couple of people and he'll be thrown for a loss. Vernon Turner makes the tackle for the Crude. You see Turner, one of the defensive backs. Derek Johnson, Marcus Jones, Kelvin Kreiner, linebacker Caffrey Cannon, and the defensive linemen Danner, Robbins, and George. The Crude defensive lineups brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites in New Orleans.
Doug Coleman, only 10 interceptions on the year to go along with 59 touchdowns. That's an amazing number. Getting a chance to go for number 60 right here.
Pitch to Dunn, right side. Pushed out right near the goal line. We'll see what the officials
are still looking at each other.
The fans in the stands say touchdown, but we got to get somebody in a striped shirt to say it.
They're
going to mark it short.
We'll pitch to Dunn, who had 7 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago, 6 rushing, 1 receiving, and from that angle looked like he got in, reached the ball across the goal line, but the official said no, he went out at the 1-yard line.
Fourth down, the Bucks will go for it. 4th and goal from the 1. Doug Coleman in the shotgun, 3 receivers left. Dunn on the handoff, and he's not going to get there. The Crude defense keeps the Bucks out of the end zone. They'll turn it over on downs. Anthony George made that stop for the Crude, and the offense on a 1st and goal after that turnover couldn't convert.
Well, it's hard to run the football inside the 5-yard line when you got a quarterback that's got to operate out of the shotgun. And I think they're being cautious with Doug Coleman because he broke a bone in his left hand a few weeks ago. And he's having to work out of the shotgun.
Starting lineups for the Buck defense. Lucian Stamp, Sullivan Beard, Drew Email led the interception, and Tyrone Hughes in the secondary. Linebacker David Dorsey. Defensive linemen Andre Reed, Roger Green, and Kentrell Blatcher. Hampton Inn and Suites in New Orleans brings you that Buck defensive starting lineup. Wooten to throw on 1st down, going long up the left side. He'll overthrow Chester Lewis, a former Mississippi State Bulldog. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I'll give the Oklahoma Crude a lot of credit, a team that's only got 1 victory on the season. And that game against Waco, the same team the Bucks shut out last week, that's the same team Oklahoma beat 66-12 2 weeks ago. And had a chance, 1st and goal at the 5. The Bucks had great field position, could not score. And now the Crude is playing with a little bit of confidence.
2nd and 10. I would say that's not going to be the last long pass we'll see tried by these guys. Over the middle, complete to the big tight end, Frederick. He's got a 1st down and more for the Crude before Email and Cloud can bring him down. That's a big tight end. Again, we don't have heights and weights on the Oklahoma Crude ball players, but that's a big guy.
Well, this was a nice play actually by Wooten in traffic to hit the tight end, pick up a 1st down, and get out from within the shadow of their own goalpost and get it near midfield. A good pickup for Oklahoma.
A gain of 16. It'll be 1st and 10. Crude from their own 21-yard line. Wooten drops the throw. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. That's a sack. Andre Reed getting in there first and dropping Wooten for the sack and a loss of 4 yards.
Well, Andre Reed is their best pass rusher on the team. A lot of speed, a little undersized, but he gets around that corner in a hurry. Able to get to the quarterback. Listed, it's Reed listed at 6'3", 270. But I think that 270 number is a little high.
Played his college ball at Jackson State. 2nd and 14, Oklahoma. A little over 8 minutes to go. First quarter, we're scoreless. Wooten gonna run with it. Makes a few moves and he'll get some positive yardage. A little gain of about 8 yards, maybe 9, before he's brought down by Sullivan Beard.
Well, there's a nice play and a good idea by Wooten as he gets pressure again from Reed. But that right side loses containment and he just tucks it, sticks his head down, picks up 8-9 yards.
Set up a 3rd down and 5, we'll call it. 3rd and 5. They have the ball in Bayou Buck territory, so it's up to the Bayou Buck defense to make it happen here on this 3rd down play. Wooten in the shotgun as the Buck defense digs in. A little high snap, but it's in and out of the hands of Chester Lewis. Would have been enough for the 1st down. That's a break for Houma. In the NIFL, you do not punt. You either kick a field goal or you go for it. And I see the place kicker for the Crude coming out on the field, Chris Maraviglia.
Now that would have been a 1st down, but a big drop by Chester Lewis. And now the Crude will try to get 3. It's a long field goal and with a building that's got a low ceiling.
35-yard attempt. Quarterback Wooten will hold. Right-footed sidewinder. Partially blocked at the line. And it'll bounce over the wall. One of those defensive rushers for the Bayou Bucks got a part of that ball, and the kick is no good. With 6:20 to go in the 1st quarter, we're scoreless. We'll get our 2nd look at the Bayou Buck offense and quarterback Doug Coleman with Ronnie Rance. My name's Tommy Price. This is Houma Bayou Bucks football right here on Cox Sports Television.
You know, Tommy, it's the All-State Good Hands Foam Finger Night. And when I was a kid, I loved these things. I mean, they got a little small, or maybe my hands got bigger.
I think your hand got bigger, Ronnie.
But it used to be gigantic, and I had an LSU Tiger, but now you can see a lot of kids tonight with the foam finger from the Bucks, courtesy of All-State. They're giving away about 1,000 of these at the game tonight.
Gotta like that. Well, Ronnie, the first possession for the Bayou Bucks, they got the ball at the Oklahoma Crude 5-yard line after the email interception. Their 2nd possession, it's at the 5-yard line, but this time it's their own 5-yard line. So a little more field room here. We'll see what quarterback Doug Coleman and the Buck offense can do. Nice crowd on hand here tonight at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. They're ready for the Bucks to put some points on the board.
I can tell you right now that the Bayou Bucks offensive unit is probably going to come out a little bit of fire. I think they were surprised maybe at the intensity that Oklahoma played with on that 1st and goal when they got no points in the 1st drive. So see what kind of intensity they come out with here.
We've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Doug Coleman in the shotgun. Lockett is split left. Scheck-Snyder and Hurd to the right. Coleman to throw out of the end zone. Over the middle, incomplete, broken up, almost picked off by Gisson Danner, a former University of Houston strong safety. He flat out dropped an INT.
I think he was as surprised as Doug Coleman was. You know, Doug Coleman just kind of misses Scheck-Snyder, who stopped in the middle of the field, and I think Coleman maybe expected him to continue running across the field.
2nd and 10 for the Bayou Bucks. 3 receivers to the right. Trips right formation. Coleman again will fire right to Scheck-Snyder, who catches it and immediately knocked out of bounds by Danner. We'll set up a 3rd and about 5 for the Houma Bayou Bucks.
You know, last week in the 74-0 victory, Clint Scheck-Snyder was the main target. He had 10 of Doug Coleman's receptions, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, and was really outstanding. Had the best game of the season, maybe even his career.
3rd and 5. Coleman to throw. We'll send it up the right side, looking for Hurd, incomplete down near the 20. Tried to get it to Kevin Hurd, it'll be 4th down.
4th down, they'll have to kick it. So two straight possessions where the Bucks offense hasn't been able to get anything going.
So Strapola, Chris Strapola, the former Nicholls State Colonel, will come on out again. You got to try a field goal. This will be a long one.
Well, he's going to, looks like, okay, I was going to say maybe he's going to try to drop kick it, but this is going to be a well-placed punt. And the Bucks will have to take time out right here because they did not have the right personnel on the field. And that's kind of, I'm sure, got Jack Phillips Jr. a little frustrated maybe.
Yeah, you know, got to kick it. I mean, when it's 3rd down and you're on the bench and you're on the kicking team, you got to be awake and be ready to roll if the team doesn't convert. I saw a flag drop, but they're going to say inadvertent flag. I guess they dropped one for delay of the game and realized that the Bucks had called a timeout. You get a good look at Jack Phillips Jr., the head coach of the Houma Bayou Bucks, a solid guy and a solid coach. So Strapola going to try a kick after this short break in the action.
Nope.
Chris Strapola, you get a good look at him. 5'8", 185-pounder. As we mentioned, played at Nicholls State, the Colonels.
Now the Bayou Bucks waiting for the officials to signal action. Well, now we'll get a chance to kick it away here on 4th down.
Ryan Rogers, the deep snapper for the Bayou Bucks, and we're finally ready to go here. Strapola with a 53-yard attempt. Line drive, that is good. Wow, that's got to be some kind of record. That's a 58-yard field goal inside the Houma Civic Center. Wow, what a way to get 3 points for the Bayou Bucks. You've got to tip your hat to Chris Strapola. What a kick.
Now, Chris Strapola is a guy who's had some career nights. This is his 3rd season in a Bucks uniform and has had nights where he's kicked 6, 7 field goals in a game. And that was about as big a kick as you will probably ever get a chance to see, from 58 approximate yards when you take into consideration the end zone's about 5-6 yards deep, and the crossbar is about 15 feet up in the air.
And those skinny uprights too, so that was quite a job. As here you see the ball just getting inside the left corner, if you will, of the post, and the ref says good, and it's 3-0 Bayou Bucks with 4:12 to go in the first quarter. Strapola telling that ref, yeah, I knew that was good when I kicked it.
I guarantee you Strapola was probably aiming for that, but he was really just trying to kick it low and hard and deep and just hit it perfectly. You know, it's tough to kick in the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center because the ceiling hangs real low, but he's got the home field advantage. He practices in here. He's kicked a number of games, and that time that was the perfect kick in this building. And maybe that'll help motivate this offense a little bit.
Well, you know, Oklahoma 1-10 coming into the game. The Bayou Bucks 10-2. Maybe they needed a little something in the Bayou Bucks to maybe stop them from sleepwalking and realize that, hey, like anything, you got to come out, you got to do the job. Can't take for granted you're going to beat somebody just because they've been down. That might be the spark the Bucks are looking for.
There's nothing better than the 4th of July apple pie in America's pastime. On the 4th, Cox Sports Television will be bringing the apple pie, and the New Orleans Zephyrs will be serving up the baseball. Tune in next Sunday live from Zephyr Field at 6 p.m. to see the Z's battle Oklahoma at 6 p.m. on the 4th right here on Cox Sports Television, your exclusive home for Zephyrs baseball.
Well, right, we're finally ready to go again.
And talking about the Zephyrs, former LSU Tiger Russ Springer just signed by the Houston Astros, picked him up. He will be in a Zephyrs uniform for the next couple of weeks, trying to get back to the big leagues.
Low kickoff picked up by Lewis, who will put his head down and get out near midfield before he's tackled by Darian Chestnut, along with Lucian Stamps, and the Crude will go back to work on offense, trailing now 3-0.
Pretty good start from the Crude, though, at the midfield stripe.
Midfield stripe in the NIFL, the 25-yard line. Jack Phillips calls the defense. Again, they tossed a shutout last week. That's really remarkable in indoor football. Wooten, Dixie Wooten, former Texas El Paso Miner quarterback, will go from the shotgun on 1st and 10. We'll look over the middle for the tight end, Frederick, who's got it inside the 10-yard line. That's good enough for a first down and more for the Crude.
Well, let's do the best prediction we can on Big 42. I'm saying he's about 6'1", 275, 280.
I'll go along with that, Ronnie.
Yeah, something about that, and he has been open all night.
A little bit of an athletic move to catch that ball there, too. In his day, I'm sure he was a fine athlete.
Stamps just kind of got pushed off, and they better get a body on him.
1st and goal for the Crude at the 6. Wooten scrambles, throws, touchdown. He's got Andre Roy in the end zone, and the Crude are on top of the Bayou Bucks. That didn't take long. 2 plays, 25 yards, and the Crude are on top.
Well, give Wooten a lot of credit. I mean, he's an athletic, mobile quarterback. He's going to give the Bucks some trouble tonight, and a great job to get some space and get rid of the football just before Andre Reed got there.
Maraviglia will try the extra point. Wooten will hold. Kick again, tipped at the line, no good. I believe Griffin got a hand on that for the Bayou Bucks. That'll keep the score at 6-3, Oklahoma over Houma. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. With Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Price, and this is Bayou Buck football on Cox Sports Television.
Well, there's Neil and Chris Suar, the co-owners of the Bayou Bucks, and of course enjoying this season and this ball game.
Ronnie, it won't be 2 shutouts in a row as Oklahoma has got the touchdown as they kick off. Low bounding kick will be picked up by Jarvis Dunn. He'll run right and lower a shoulder right into Chester Lewis and get out near midfield, where the offense with quarterback Doug Coleman will go to work trailing 6-3.
Well, we're in for a little bit of a ball game here. You know, the Oklahoma Crude, all shapes and sizes and numbers have shown up here, and didn't take much of a warm-up. They came out real late for warm-ups. Kind of a mystery team. We had a couple of different rosters before the game, but regardless of how they look or how they're dressed, they have come out to play in this first quarter.
1st and 10, Bayou Bucks on their own 23-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Coleman out of the shotgun. Throws, got Dunn on the left side. First down inside the 15-yard line. Tackled by Caffrey Cannon. Nice throw and catch, Coleman to Dunn.
Well, I think, you know, Doug Coleman's going to be a little bit conservative right here. You know, they've gone 2 straight series where they've gone out with no points, and I think they want to kind of get back to basics. They've got the better athletes, the better offensive line, and just kind of line up and play some base football.
1st and 10 from the Crude 14-yard line. Coleman to throw. Plenty of time. Fires, broken up down near the goal line. Good recovery by the defensive back, Derek Johnson, to break up that pass. He tried to get the ball to Devon Lockett right in the end zone. All
day for Doug Coleman to throw the football, and kind of pointed to Lockett, but a real absolutely nice play by Derek Johnson, a layout, to tip it away.
He did a good job recovering and getting that ball batted down.
Derek Johnson, number 19, right there with the Friends University.
Where's Friends University?
Not quite sure, but I will look it up online tonight.
I thought that was a TV show. Here we go. Coleman, play action. Looks back at the end zone. Touchdown, Bayou Bucks. Kevin Hurd on the reception. Good blocking up front by the big guys. Coleman throws a strike to Kevin Hurd. Kevin will sit down after that 6-pointer.
Now, that was a nice play. As they fake the handoff to Dunn. Right here, some good ball handling as Doug Coleman kind of fakes the handoff, rolls right and finds Hurd on a crossfire. A play they have connected on a lot this year.
Stropolo on to attempt the extra point.
That's Kevin Hurd's 33rd touchdown reception of the year.
Under 30 seconds to go, first quarter. Stropolo's kick is up and it's between the posts. And Houma leads Oklahoma by a score of 10-6.
Well, Doug Coleman got his 60th touchdown pass. Kevin Hurd got his 33rd touchdown reception. That's, you know, one of the premier combos in the league.
Houma Terrebonne is a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. For more information, go to www.tpcg.org. That's www.tpcg.org. Also, we remind you we're here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, South Louisiana's favorite showplace and proud home of the Bayou Bucks. They invite you to come enjoy the football or many other events held here like Broadway shows, family shows, sporting events, concerts, and much more. For more information or a list of upcoming events, visit their website, www.houmaciviccenter.com. And the Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, attracting people and taking care of the area. Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Kick by Stropolo off the back wall. It's a touchback. As the clock didn't run, but.
And today's game also brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites, New Orleans Convention Center location, the crown jewel, but there are 5 other locations in New Orleans, 2 in Baton Rouge. Hampton Inn and Suites, our home away from home.
Ball will be placed at the midfield stripe. 1st and 10. I don't know if Oklahoma's going to get a playoff. We're under 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. I don't believe they're aware of the clock. Now they're seeing the clock, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Our score at the end of one quarter, the Houma Bayou Bucks 10, the Oklahoma Crude 6. With Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Christ, and Houma Bayou Bucks football right here from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center on Cox Sports. 10-6, Houma on top of Oklahoma. NIFL action with Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Christ.
Well, the Crude with the ball at midfield, so some more good field position. 1st and 10 at midfield.
There's a keep by Wooten to the left side. Nice fake. He'll pick up 6 or 7 yards before he's belted by Leonard Mack. You see Mack, number 14, he really popped the leather right there.
Now Lamar Mack, a speedy, active linebacker, 6'1", 242 out of Texas Southern, does a good job right here as Wooten tries to cut back. He comes up, gets right under his chin, and then is pretty happy about it, as he should be.
7-yard gain, though. It'll set up a 2nd and 3.
Been impressed with Wooten. I mean, he's a guy out of UTEP who is very athletic and has caused some trouble early on for the Bucks.
Pass is complete to Roy. He'll get a 1st down for the Crude. Well, look at some of the first quarter stats. You're talking about Wooten. He was 3 out of 6 for 41 yards. Led the team in rushing with a couple of carries.
I think last week the Bayou Bucks only allowed about 7 yards of offense all night against Waco. So
Oklahoma got more than Houma here in the first quarter, 47-31. Both had a pair of 1st downs. Here's Wooten's pass left side, incomplete. He threw it behind Chester Lewis, who had turned up the field, and the ball was thrown outside, so it's incomplete. And it'll set up a 2nd and 10 from the Bayou Buck 12-yard line.
Well, the Crude have had a tough go of it in Oklahoma. Only 4 wins in the 3 years of the franchise. 2 of them have come against the Bucks over those over the last 3 years. But this is being rumored to be their last game in franchise history, as they will possibly be moving to another city next year. So maybe a little extra motivation for Oklahoma to come out and have a good showing in its last regular season game. Houma has one more next week at Tupelo. This is the last home game of the regular season for Houma. But for the Crude on the road, last game maybe in Oklahoma Crude history, they're coming out with a little extra fire tonight.
They'll play a 3rd and 10 as Email broke up that last pass attempt. Get a look at Drew Email as he'll get ready on this 3rd and 10 from the 12-yard line of Houma. Wooten under pressure, steps forward, throws incomplete. That pressure provided by Kentrell Blatcher, former Southern Jaguar. It's going to bring up 4th down in a kicking situation, as the place kicker for the Crude will come out into the field of play.
They keep trying this, don't they?
Twice now the Bayou Bucks have gotten a hand on a field goal and an extra point.
See if they get a little better shot here.
A little bit closer, 24-yard attempt. Snap is messed up by Wooten. He's going to throw it, looking for Frederick, who will make a catch. A bobbling grab, and they're going to say touchdown, Oklahoma. Great improvisation by Wooten.
Now the Bucks are screaming for a flag. I think they're claiming maybe that he was ineligible, possibly. But a good block by the kicker gives Wooten enough time to take a shot downfield. A little tip drill touchdown. We'll see if this play gets reversed.
You know, when there's a bad snap, somebody yells some buzzword, some
fire
hot word.
Usually.
Yeah, and then everybody knows it's a bad snap, and that has to means one of the receivers has to release and go look for the ball. And the holder, they know which guy, and Wooten looked for him and found him, and the refs get together and decide that this touchdown will stand on the botched field goal snap. And the Crude ends up with a touchdown out of it, a very good catch. We talked about the athleticism of Calvin Frederick earlier on a nice catch that he made back in the first quarter. He does the same thing for the 2nd touchdown of the night for the Crude. Maraviglia will try the extra point. This time he's got it up, and it is good. With 11 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter, the Oklahoma Crude now lead the Houma Bayou Bucks by a score of 13-10. You'll see that catch as we go out of here on Cox Sports Television. On the ground, and Dunn will take it at his 3-yard line. Dunn will be wrapped up and dropped out near the 10. Good kickoff coverage. Vernon Turner leading the way on that stop.
Now the Crude lead it by 3, and they are fired up on their sidelines. Their team is pumped. You know, that they did not, expect to be probably winning here halfway through the 2nd quarter, but that's exactly what they're doing in a building that not many people have been successful. The Bucks have only lost 1 home game this year, none last season, so it's awfully tough to win in Houma.
Coleman wants to throw. He's got time long up the right sideline, looking for Hurd. Incomplete. Broken up at the last minute. Getting a hand on it was Derek Johnson. Doug Coleman's got a good, strong arm. He really fired that ball. But Johnson, at the last available second, tipped it away or broke the concentration of Kevin Hurd.
Now, give Derek Johnson a ton of credit. It was step for step with Kevin Hurd, who's got some pretty good speed. Now Hurd had to slow down a little bit because an end line was coming, but Johnson was there to tip it away. Some good athletic play.
2nd and 10, Houma from their own 11-yard line. Flags down. Coleman over the middle, complete to Hurd, who will be very close to the first down marker. He's got it as he lunges forward. But we've got a flag that was dropped right near the snap. It's near the line of scrimmage. It was right about the time the ball was snapped. I saw the flag fly. Illegal procedure against the defense is the signal. So the Bayou Bucks and Coach Jack Phillips Jr. would decline that penalty. They'll take the play. They picked up 11 yards on the pass from Coleman to Hurd.
So Coleman connects with his favorite receiver, Kevin Hurd. As you take a look at the head coach of Oklahoma, Steve Gale, who playing hurt. He's got a little foot cast on that left ankle. He's been hobbling around, but he's got to be fired up with the way his team's playing so far in this ball game.
1st and 10. Handoff, Dunn running room. Dunn to the 20, 15, inside the 15. A boy tripped up by Marcus Jones, but a big gain for Jarvis Dunn.
Now, when you focus too much on Doug Coleman and Kevin Hurd, the Bucks can hurt you because Dunn is very good. He's speedy, he's agile, he's a lot stronger than he looks with his 5'6" frame.
We'll give him a 16-yard gain on that play.
And he can hurt you. Bucks can hurt you on the ground or through the air. Very balanced offense.
Coleman gonna have to scramble. Looks, throws, incomplete. Tried to get it to Lockett. That ball went into the stands.
That went right into somebody's meat pie cheese tray. Got a football thrown its way. And Lockett, a young man out of Northwestern State, trying to make a good catch out of bounds.
2nd and 10, Houma, from the Oklahoma 12-yard line. 8:20 to go here in the 2nd quarter from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. Bucks down by 3 points at this moment. Doug Coleman in the offense trying to do something about that. Here's Dunn left side. He'll scoot it into the end zone.
How do you forget about him?
Coleman to Dunn, good for the 12-yard Bayou Buck touchdown.
Oklahoma's defense is doing a lot of. I thought you had him. Well, I thought you had him.
Yeah.
But they forgot to cover 2 out of the backfield. That's a mistake. Easy touchdown.
Blown assignment as Dunn caught that ball on the pass from Coleman and just waltzed right into the end zone.
He had to be shocked after he catches this ball, turns around, nobody's there.
One of the easier touchdowns Jarvis Dunn will ever score. Stropolo on to attempt the extra point. Drew Email will hold. Snap from Rogers is down. The kick is up. It's between the posts. And the Bayou Bucks are back out on top. We've had a seesaw battle so far. Houma takes the lead 17-13 with 7:33 to go here in the first half. You see the pass from Coleman to Dunn for the Bayou Buck touchdown. The Bayou Bucks are back out on top 17-13. You look at the Atlantic Conference standings. Houma 10-2, Ohio Valley 10-3. Show me. I'm a guest there from Missouri 9-4. All 3 of those teams, as you can see, have clinched a playoff berth.
Well, Lexington at 8-4 and Atlantic City 7-5. 2 teams that could be potential first-round matchups for Houma. But Houma has won the Atlantic South Division. They're the 2004 NIFL Atlantic South Division champs.
And they have probably displayed some banners here in the building right below the play clocks.
First time in its 3-year franchise history that they've won the Atlantic South Division championship. So congratulations. And now with this game and one next week at Tupelo on the schedule, they're playing for that dominant home field advantage position where they can possibly host all the way through the playoffs.
And I know Coach Jack Phillips Jr. would like nothing more than to play the game here at home in front of the Bayou Buck fans.
They've never had a home playoff game, so would be very exciting. And they will host one. They're trying to host all of them.
They had a road playoff game last year at Lake Charles. They were defeated in that game. I actually worked that game for Cox Sports Television.
Yeah, that was not a fun experience. They went on the road and missed some of their starting players and really weren't in it from start to finish. But this time around, a little different attitude, and not just happy to be there. You know, they want to finish the job.
Touchback on the kickoff off the leg of Chris Strapola. And the Crude will take over on their own 5-yard line. Houma back out on top 17-13. And it's time for that Bayou Buck defense, who played fabulously last week in the shutout over Waco, to start playing like that again and keep the Crude at bay. Ball laying right on the 5-yard line.
Now about to get a delay of game penalty.
A little bit of confusion coming out of that touchback.
Called
timeout, Oklahoma. Dixie Wooten, the quarterback. Here's Coach Steve Gale of the Oklahoma Crude. He's going to limp down there and come up with something.
Well, you never want to burn a timeout, you know, especially after a change of possession, after a kickoff. No reason to be slow getting the play in, but they were. And
you got to be heads up when you're out in that bench. Know the situation.
Yeah, there you see the history between these two teams. They played 4 times, each winning twice. Houma has had a much better history. It's going 25-16. Look at Oklahoma, 4 wins and 35 losses. Been a miserable franchise. 2 of their 4 wins have come against Houma. That's something that'll put a frown on Jack Phillips' face. Last time these two teams matched up last year, June 6, 2003, Oklahoma squeaked one out on the road at home for Oklahoma as the Bucks went on the road and lost.
It was one of those Bayou Bells there, signing one of those All-State Good Hands fingers there.
And we will see the Bayou Bells at halftime as they
I'm looking forward to that.
Perform at halftime. We'll have it for you right here.
I'm not moving. 1st and 10, Oklahoma from their own 5. Looks like a busted play. Wooten will be dropped, a gain of maybe 1, if that. He's pushed way back, but they'll mark his progress up to the 6-yard line.
Looks like he tried to give the football to his running back, and the running back didn't take it.
Griffin and Blatcher and Mack all into that stop, and he was slammed to the turf, and Wooten will like shake out some cobwebs there. We'll give him a gain of 1 with his forward progress there. He'll have to get the helmet strapped back on.
So after the timeout to avoid a delay of game penalty, some miscommunication and a busted play.
2nd and 9 from the 6. Handoff to Kenya. He'll go nowhere. Maybe a gain of 1. Blatcher there to make the stop. Kentrell Blatcher, 6'1", 300-pound former Southern Jaguar. You'll see him just shed his blocker and stuff it.
That's a nice play by Blatcher. Just did exactly that. Got off the block and nowhere for the running back to go. So Wooten will have to come up with something. Wooten out of Texas El Paso. The new coach at Texas El Paso is
Mike Price.
Mike Price.
Hope they don't have any dance clubs in El Paso.
Well,
I was trying to be nice there.
Well, at least they don't speak English if they do, so that's a good thing for them.
Wooten completes one left side to Andre Roy, former Prairie View A&M ball player. He's quickly tackled on the play by Sullivan Beard.
Now, will they go for it on 4th down? Now they're going to bring out the kicker.
I don't see the kicker.
No, he's come on. He's tried it out slowly, but he's made it out.
That's not the kicker.
And he's out there. Look.
Is he? Oh, I got him now.
And now he's going to jog off, so they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Coach Steve Gale.
After the field goal kicker ran 50 yards to get on the field.
Well, it is 4th and 1. I mean, Coach Gale probably thinks, hey, we got to be able to come up with a yard. Under 5 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Big play for the Bayou Buck defense, but we're going to have a delay of the game. Flag is dropped deep in the secondary. Dixie Wooten doesn't like the call. The ref's not going to buy his argument.
Well,
that's going to make it 4th and 6 instead of 4th and 1. Now that kicker is going to jog back out here. He'll make the journey from deep in the end zone to our right.
Well, Dixie Wooten is claiming that they're starting to play clock a little early on him before everybody's set. And he may have an argument, but the official isn't buying it.
Here's a kick blocked again. Yet another time. Ball into the stands. That's a souvenir for a Bayou Bucks fan. And it's going to be good field position as the Bucks come up with the stop.
Well, a good job by the Bucks. A bad snap, and they were able to get their 3rd tip kick of the game. Here you see a little bit of a bad snap. And then couldn't quite see who got the deflection.
Might have been David Dorsey, the former Tulane linebacker. It was David Dorsey who got a hold of that.
So Doug Coleman brings out the offense, a good field position.
Try to add to that 4-point lead. Coleman's ready to go. Got time, fires left side, incomplete, broken up near the goal line by Danner. It'll set up a 2nd and 10. You get a good look at David Dorsey, who got a hand on that field goal attempt. As I mentioned, a member of the Tulane Green Wave football program before becoming a Houma Bayou Buck.
Dorsey really taking on a more prominent role with Tim Bett's absence. He's the starting linebacker, really kind of the captain of this defense, and been out for the last couple of weeks. Will be out for the rest of the year with a knee injury, and he's a guy who's really kind of led this defense over the last few years, and so Dorsey's had to fill in and done a nice job.
Coleman got time again, throws complete to Schexnayder. Very close to the first down. I believe he's got it near the Oklahoma 6-yard line. That's Clint Schexnayder, who went to Rhodes College, 6'3", 205-pounder. As Coleman looks left, finds Schexnayder as he sits down in front of the zone. And he's down at the 6-yard line, tackled by Danner.
Well, Darian Chestnut is checked in along with Aubrey Jones, the backup quarterback, who also plays some receivers. So they got the big package in with 3 big receivers in there.
1st and goal. Hand off to Dunn, right side. He's got his 2nd touchdown of the night. Jarvis Dunn on the 6-yard run. Good blocking up front by the line. Nice block thrown by Troy Davis to give Dunn the running room and the escort into the end zone, and the Bayou Bucks with 2:32 to go, 2nd quarter.
Well, Bucks with a little mini jumbo package. They brought in their bigger wide receivers and kind of just ran a running play. Got a good push. Dunn went pretty much untouched into the end zone.
Lane Evans, the former LSU lineman, also with a good block on the right side. And Chris Strapola will come on to attempt the extra point as the Bayou Bucks enjoy their largest lead of the ball game. And if Strapola can convert, that will be 11 points. Strapola puts it between the posts and does just that. The Bayou Bucks 24, the Oklahoma Crude 13. And Ronnie, I'll tell you, they've got these fans happy now as compared to a short time ago.
You see Dunn right off the right side, literally does not get touched till he gets to the goal line. It's the dominant effort. And now starting to get a little distance between the Bucks and the Crude after a lackluster start. Now they're starting to put points on the board, and they can see where you can get your Bayou Bucks football tickets, get your playoff tickets. Call now. They're going to be going quick. 985-851-3600. 985-851-3600. I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic. That's July 15th. Is going to be the home game. It's going to be a Thursday night here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. It's going to be a wild atmosphere. It's always a fun experience for a regular season game. It'll be the first ever playoff game. Imagine what that's going to be like. Night game down at home on a Thursday night as the Bucks will be in the playoffs. Call it 985-851-3600.
I tell you, you better get those tickets now because this place liable to fill up and sell out here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. Stropola's kick bounces around, picked up by Chester Lewis in the end zone. He'll move around. Schexnayder will throw him down at the 13-yard line. with 2:10 to go in the half, so we'll keep an eye on that clock for you. And the Crude will have to work quickly. Now down by 11 points. Nice open field tackle by Scheck-Snyder. Dixie Wooten will bring the Crude back out. Ronnie, you know, there's plenty of nicknames. But we're going to talk about this Oklahoma Crude thing when we come back. We're at the 2-minute warning. Houma on top, 24-13. There's a happy guy with his foam finger. He's happy that the Bayou Bucks are on top. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. It'll be a regular football clock from this point forward. And the Bayou Buck defense, who had a stop the last time they were on the field, looking for another.
What a difference a week makes. Last week, the Bayou Bucks winning at halftime, I think up like 46-0. And today, a little bit more of a normal ball game, up 24-13 with 2 to go in the second quarter.
Waiting on the referees. We're ready so they can go. Everybody's ready. Why don't they just go here?
Well, now they're set, but the Crude is going to go shotgun, 2 guys in motion. Got an offsides call.
Wooten in trouble, gets away, throws in and completes it to Roy, who's got some running room. Mack will wrap him up though after a gain of about 6.
That's a shame that great individual effort is going to go to waste, because Wooten was a magician just to get away and get that ball thrown, but it's going to be offsides.
Oh, wait, I think we got 2 penalties. We got a flag and a hat down. See, we got a flag. I think we got 2 penalties. We got a hat down. The ref threw his flag on the far side, and then he threw a hat. We got offsides on the offense. We've also got illegal use of hands on the defense. We've got offsetting penalties. So we had a yellow flag and a black hat and an offsetting penalty.
Okay.
Oklahoma Crude, Ronnie. I mean, I know it's related to oil industry, crude oil, all that, but I mean, what a nickname, huh? Crude? I played for the Crude. Go Crude, go. It just doesn't sound right.
Look at Wooten right here. I mean, just all kinds of pressure. And it's as if it didn't happen. Now he's down.
He's sacked this time. Richard Griffin in the backfield to make the sack. Good job by Griffin to penetrate and then wrap up the athletic Wooten.
And the Bucks will take a timeout right here as they try to stop the clocks in hopes of getting the ball back with time to score. Richard Griffin with the big sack. He's 6'3", 305 out of Virginia Union. And the Bucks really have the advantage on the offensive defensive line in this ball game. Much better athletes. Tune in to Cox Sports for a weekend packed full of outdoor adventures on Saturdays at Chef KD's Outdoor and More at 8:30 a.m. and at 9:30 Between the Banks with Bob Gorgeous. Then on Sunday at 7 a.m. it's Paradise, Louisiana, followed by Big Fish, Go Fish, and the Woods and Water outdoor shows with Tommy Wilcox. That's great Gulf Coast outdoor programming right here every weekend on Cox Sports Television. Love me some Go Fish.
We've got 1:25 remaining here in the first half. And the Oklahoma Crude will play a 2nd and 15. The ball lays at their 9-yard line. Wooten's in the shotgun, and if the Bayou Buck defense can do well on this play, they'll call another timeout, I'm quite sure. Here's Wooten scrambling and running, twisting and turning, and he's out near the 20-yard line. Fumble.
Should be
ball
down. I don't think
I believe Lucian Stamps has the ball. Wooten says he was down. But they're going to say Bayou Buck ball. Lucian Stamps jumped on that fumble, and it's Houma football. The defense forces the turnover. Wooten doesn't like the call at all, but he's not going to get it changed. You get a look at the replay.
Watch Wooten. He's going to get hit. Watch as his knee hits. He is way down. That's a terrible call.
Ball was actually stripped by Leonard Mack, who then dropped it, and Stamps got it. That's a poor call. That ball should have been down. I agree with Dixie Wooten, but it's 1st and 10 Bayou Bucks. Pass left side. Hurd. He's got it. Touchdown, Houma. The quick strike from Coleman to Hurd. It's a 22-yard touchdown, and just like that, Houma extends the lead. Another referee conference down in the end zone. I don't know if this touchdown will stand. We'll
they're
see.
going to mark him down, it looks like, from here.
All right, I'll stand corrected. The ref in the back signaled touchdown, but now they're going to change their minds. And they're going to place the ball at the 1-yard line. So apparently, Hurd was out of bounds. We're going to look at the replay. We can't see it a whole lot.
Well, they're claiming that he went up, made the catch, but he came down and made, on the side.
He hit the wall.
Made contact with the wall at the 1, and officials got together and made the right call.
1st and goal at the 1, Dunn. Looking for his 3rd touchdown of the night. He won't get it. Tripped up by Danner. Set up a 2nd and goal.
Real nice play by Danner, too, as he went low and just got a piece of him. And
2nd and goal, and Houma will call another timeout. Indoor football, why don't you just let that clock run, try to score with basically no time left? But Jack Phillips Jr. wants to talk it over with Doug Coleman. They had trouble getting in the end zone in their initial possession tonight. Down to our right, when they had a 1st and goal in the 5, ran 4 plays, couldn't score. So Jack Phillips Jr. is looking at that play sheet. He's going to come up with something that'll get him into the end zone from the 1-yard line.
This is the final timeout for the Bucks.
Bootleg to Doug Coleman, maybe?
Now, they don't like to run him too much. I would imagine this late in the year that they probably won't. He suffered a broken finger, a broken bone in his left hand, and he had a big cast on it for a number of weeks. That cast is now off, and for the first time in about a month, Doug Coleman's taking snaps under center.
Coleman hands off Dunn. He'll go in untouched for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Jarvis Dunn.
That was just real easy. Everybody just dominated on that left side.
Perhaps Oklahoma thought the ball was going to go right. Dunn goes left. And an easy trip into the end zone for Dunn. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the night to go along with a touchdown catch, giving him 3 scores tonight. 51.8 seconds to go. And Chris Strapola will be on to attempt to kick the extra point. Stropola's kick is up, and it's between the posts. And the Houma Bayou Bucks now lead 31-13. Let's get another look at that touchdown.
Watch Darian Chestnut right there, number 80. He's a lead blocker. The outside containment got hooked, and it was just an easy jaunt to the end zone. Dunn's had a couple of easy ones tonight. 1 catch, 1 receiving, 1 rushing.
All 3 have been pretty easy, actually.
And now 2nd quarter has been all Houma Bucks as they've opened up a 31-13 lead.
Houma led 10-6 at the end of the 1st quarter, so 21-7 on the scoreboard. They've outscored Oklahoma here in quarter number 2. Ronnie Rant's going to head downstairs, grab Coach Jack Phillips Jr. for a little halftime interview. As Strapola is set to kick off. Low bounding kick will be picked up by Roy, and he'll be dropped deep in Crude territory. Scheckschneider makes that stop along with Dorsey. And with 42.5 seconds to go, Oklahoma has 2 timeouts remaining. The Bayou Bucks are out of timeouts. They've used their allotment here in the 1st half. So we'll see what the Crude can do with 42.5 seconds to go. And as we mentioned, Houma now out in control, 31-13. The ball's on the 8-yard line. 10 on the play clock. And the Crude are ready to go. Shotgun formation. As Wooten wants to throw left side, in and out of the hands of Lewis, incomplete. Stops the clock with 39.7 seconds to go. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Crude. As Dixie Wooten, the quarterback from Texas El Paso. Second and 10 for Oklahoma. Don't forget, at halftime we'll have Coach Jack Phillips Jr. We'll also get a look at the Bayou Bells, the outstanding dance team for the Bayou Buck football squad. Wooten will work from the shotgun. High snap. He's under pressure. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll throw incomplete into the stands. Another souvenir for a Bayou Buck fan. He'll hold that one and take it home. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for Oklahoma. It's a souvenir when the ball goes in the stands in the NIFL, so those lucky fans get to take a pretty nice souvenir home. The ball with the NIFL logo on it. 3rd and 10, 33 seconds to go. Oklahoma with 2 timeouts remaining. Houma has none left. Wooten throws it to Kenya, who will be hit and dropped for a loss. Nice play by Leonard Mack from his linebacker position. His assignment was to cover that back out of the backfield, and he did it very well. You'll see Wooten look downfield and flip it left side in the flat. Leonard Mack says that won't work and drops him for a 2-yard loss. And I believe Oklahoma will be content to let us get to the halftime here. 31-13, the Bayou Bucks on top. We've reached halftime at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. We'll be taking it down to the field. Ronnie Rant's going to grab Coach Jack Phillips Jr. down near the goal line. A very impressive second quarter for the Bayou Bucks and Coach Jack Phillips Jr. as they outscore Oklahoma 21-7 in quarter number 2. And we've got Ronnie Rantz down on the field as he'll take it away as the Bayou Bucks lead 31-13 in the halftime locker room.
Thank you, Tommy. Down here with Jack Phillips Jr. Coach, they came out playing a little bit in that first quarter. Looked like it took you a little bit to get going in this ball game.
Yeah, Oklahoma has traditionally beaten us 2 times out of the last 2 years. Traditionally, they played us hard. We just had to get the scruples out and play better offensive. I think defensive we were doing okay. We got to try to keep that consistency up on defense. Therefore, our offense can get some more opportunities.
With 2 games left to go, obviously you've already won the division, and you're trying to get that home field advantage. Do you do anything different on offense? You try to experiment at all?
Of course, but we do that every game already. We add something to the repertoire every game. So we're going to do that no matter what, whether we win or lose. But it's very important that other people see other things from our offense, and that's what we're trying to do. We're doing something a little bit different. So it's kind of got us off track a little bit, but I'm sure the second half will be fine.
If you open up and continue to open up a big lead in the second half, get a chance to see a few new faces in there?
Yeah, well, we're doing that now. I have 2 new cornerbacks in there with very little experience, but they're doing fine so far.
Good luck second half.
Thank you.
All right, Jack Phillips Jr., let's go back up to you, Tommy.
Thank you very much, Ronnie Rantz. We're at halftime, 31-13, Houma over Oklahoma. We're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television. And the Crude will kick off to begin tonight's second half. Mara Biglia will kick it. Dunn and Beard deep. It'll be Beard at the goal line. Fakes the handoff, and he's got running room. Midfield. Cuts back to his left. Sullivan, Beard inside the 5-yard line before he's run out of bounds by Johnson. What a return and a way to start the second half for the Houma Bayou Bucks.
Yeah, lightning in a bottle. I mean, those are 2 of the better return guys in the league, Dunn and Sullivan Beard.
Great job by Beard, the former Nichols State product, 5'11", 175 pounds, and he showed some good stuff on that return.
Well, that's the way to get, keep the pressure on a visiting team right on the second half opening kickoff. Take it down now. It's 1st and goal at the 4.
Doug Coleman, your quarterback. Doug, 6 foot, 235 pound, went to Eastern New Mexico. Here's Jarvis Dunn to the right side, down near the 1, inside the 1, before Danner brings him down.
Well, they went to the same play that they scored the first rushing touchdown by Dunn. It was their kind of a mini jumbo package where they line up Darian Chestnut, number 80, as a fullback, one of the bigger receivers, and bring in Aubrey Jones and Schecksteiner. They try to block, but that time Dunn came up about a half a yard short.
You see those halftime numbers on Coleman, 8 out of 13 for 90 yards, pair of touchdowns.
Doug Coleman now with 61 touchdowns on the year.
2nd and goal, Dunn left side. He won't get there. Danner wraps him up and drops him actually for a loss. Nice play by Gisson Danner, former University of Houston Cougar.
Now they tried to run the same play, except this time on the left side instead of the right, and did not have as much success. The Crude said, well, we've seen that 3 times tonight, and they stopped it the 3rd time.
And this is one of the things about indoor football, Ronnie Rance. It's tough to score from the 1 to 2 yard line where it is now. But the short end zone, and everybody's compacted in there. It's much easier to score from the 12 than it is the 2.
Short end zone, that wall back there, too, makes it even tighter. So
don't think they don't all know exactly where that wall is. Play action, back of the end zone, touchdown to Schecksteiner. Coleman with his 3rd touchdown toss of the night, and the Bucks keep pouring it on.
Well, Schecksteiner with a 2nd consecutive week, he's had a touchdown catch.
It's his first one tonight.
And had 10 catches last week. This time lines up in the slot. Kind of a in and out. He kind of broke like he was going to run a crossing route and then broke out at the last minute. Nice play by he and Doug Coleman.
And Coleman and Schecksteiner talk about it. They get it all straight. Might want to run that play again before the night's over. Chris Strapolo on to attempt the PAT. Left footer puts it up between the posts. And the Bayou Bucks strike with the initial possession of the 3rd quarter. They lead now 38-13. Coleman to Schecksteiner. You get a look at it right here on Cox Sports Television. Andre Roy gets it back out to the 18-yard line on the kickoff. Boys wrapped up and dropped, and the Crude will play 1st and 10 there. Their quarterback is number 9, Dixie Wooten. Played his college ball at Texas El Paso. And the Crude, who at one time led 13-10, so that's 28 straight unanswered points been put on the board by Houma. The Crude will take over with a lot of work to do. Wooten 6 out of 14 in the first half for 53 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That coming by Drew Email early in the ballgame. Wooten from the shotgun. Flag is down. They'll kill the play. That means the penalty's on the offense. Whenever you see the ref kill the play, it's on the offense. If they let it go, it's on the defense. False start is the call as the linesman on the near side dropped the yellow handkerchief.
Crude continuing to have conversations with the officials. They have not been happy with the play clock, which in their defense has been a little bit started a little bit early at times, but they have constantly been battling these officials for calls.
1st and 13. It's a 3-yard penalty in the NIFL. Pass over the middle for Lewis is broken up by Cloud. Denro Cloud, former West Alabama guy, breaks up the pass, trying to get it to Lewis deep in the Bayou Bucks secondary.
Cloud broke on the ball nicely, like you like to see. Tried to go for the interception, and Jack Phillips Jr. talked about how they've got a couple of youngsters back there, Cloud being one of them, along with Stamps, some new guys the last few weeks. They've gotten into the mix, and I guarantee he thought he should have had that one.
2nd and 13. Houma leads by 25 over Oklahoma. Wooten under pressure. He'll be hit and sacked. Threw it to a lineman. You can't do that. As the flags fly like crazy. We got penalties, flags all over the field. You can't throw the ball to a lineman. Everybody in the building knew that. As you see, Wooten under tremendous pressure. Griffin and Blanchard. And you can't catch it when you're a lineman. He just reacted, an instinct kind of thing. But
Kentrell Williams loved that. Big 72. He wanted an opportunity to touch the ball, but that's a penalty. And I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 officials, and I see at least 3 flags on the field. So all flags in.
Look out, incoming flag, huh?
Not sure why this is taking so long to figure out.
I'm wondering, can Houma take the result of the play? I mean, that may be the discussion here, because then it would be 3rd and 10 as opposed to 2nd and maybe whatever the penalty is for Jack Phillips Jr. He's talking to the ref. That's it. They decline that penalty. They're going to take the result of the play.
So 72, Kentrell Williams put him down as he is in
Put
the
him
book.
in the stat book.
There's the head
Might be his
coach,
first
Steve Gale, who
he's got a bum ankle.
he's got a little hitch in his giddy up today.
All right, 3rd and 10 from the 18-yard line. Oh, more flags fly. Oklahoma was offside. Wooten scrambling, running around. Sets, throws it over the middle. He's got Frederick, his big tight end, for a 1st down and more.
Another play going to go by the wayside.
Yeah, this is offsides Oklahoma. The receiver on the far side, as we look at it, was well offsides. I think everybody in the building also knew that call. Coach Jack Phillips Jr. says, back him up. Not going to take the result of that play. It'd have been a Crude 1st down. Still don't like that nickname. Crude 1st down.
Now, Oklahoma has hurt themselves with turnovers and penalties in this ball game, but you can tell that Dixie Wooten, number 9, the quarterback, is a pretty good player. He is going to get some very good escapability and pretty good arm, good vision. Just not getting a lot of help from his teammates tonight.
11:08 remaining 3rd quarter.
And another conference by the officials. There's more conferences at Houma games than in the College World Series.
And there's been a few at that.
There's been quite a few over there in Omaha.
New Orleanian Paul Gilly, the home plate umpire the other night in the South Carolina Cal State Fullerton game, which sent Cal State Fullerton into the championship round against Texas. So good to see New Orleans with a little presence behind the plate.
I guess
there.
if LSU couldn't be there, the next best thing's an official, huh?
Yeah, Paul Gilly. Here's a pass completed to Lewis, just short of the 1st down. Drew Email makes the tackle for Houma. It's going to set up 4th and 1, maybe 2. Ball just inside of Bayou Buck territory as Wooten, showing that athleticism, steps up and fires a strike to Andre Roy.
Andre Roy, the Prairie View A&M player, who comes up with the big catch. So maybe the Bucks should have taken the penalty earlier when they had illegal touching, but they didn't, and now it's 4th and 2.
They'll go for it on 4th and 2 from the Houma 24. Wooten fires it left side. It's caught for a 1st down.
Big play.
Chester Lewis, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, makes the catch.
Big play right there.
1st down at the 17-yard line of Houma. Quick strike by Wooten.
That was an ugly throw, but it was a good spot down and low in between 2 defenders, and the Crude pick up a must-have 4th down play.
Crude out of the huddle, 12 on the play clock.
Wooten just kind of drawing up plays in the dirt.
Wooten looks left, fires that way, incomplete. Receiver turned up the field. Wooten threw it outside. Credit some good pressure by Richard Griffin on Wooten as he delivered that pass.
Wooten's over there kind of directing traffic, lining up guys, putting guys in motion.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Just over 9 minutes. We approach the 9-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Crude comes out of the huddle. They trail 38-13. 2nd and 10. Wooten directing traffic. Will throw from the shotgun. The blitz is on. Over the middle, wide open.
Touchdown.
Ball is caught, and a touchdown reception by Kelvin Kreiner. He caught that one about the 5 and then danced into the end zone. He was wide open. And Oklahoma has responded to the Houma touchdown here in the third quarter.
Well, blown coverage by the Bucks, and give the Crude credit. Picked up a big 4th down and then got the touchdown to make it a ball game.
Extra point blocked. Maraviglia, for about the 4th time tonight, has had a ball partially blocked, tipped at the line, and the extra point attempt is no good. Our score will remain 38-19. The Bayou Bucks have doubled up the Oklahoma Crude with just over 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. Oklahoma will kick off. How about that?
That's all right. I'll get you back.
I bet you will.
I'll show your ex-wife in a minute in the stands.
Which one? Maraviglia will kick off for Oklahoma. When the refs are ready to go, he'll do that. Deep back for the Bayou Bucks. Sullivan, Beard, and Jarvis Dunn. You look at Beard.
Remember the last time they kicked off?
He ran it back almost all the way.
Maraviglia's got to like the kickoffs as opposed to the extra points and field goals. Doesn't get a rush.
Yeah, nobody can tip different.
He has had a tough night.
He boots one down on the ground.
Not a bad idea.
Scheckschneider will take it as the Houma 14. Scheckschneider would run and room and dancing around well into Crude territory before he slammed into the wall right in front of some of the box seats. Johnson made that stop. We've called his name a bunch tonight. Derek Johnson, who went to Friends University.
Well, I guess that was an improvement, about a 12-yard improvement. Instead of first and goal at the 4, first down at the 16. So the kick into the turf was a better move. Doug Coleman trying to answer the score by the Crude.
Under 8 minutes to go, third quarter. Coleman in the shotgun. Coleman with time to throw. Floats one for Hurd. He's got it at the 8, pushed out of bounds by Danner. But it's good enough. That'll be a little short of the first down, I should say. Pickup of about 8 to the 8. Coleman with all day to throw the ball, as you see, and he finally flips one out. Nice touch on the ball. And Kevin Hurd, the former Southern Miss Golden Eagle, makes the catch.
Well, what a year Kevin Hurd has had. He's, was a great player in college and then had a good year last year, but this year is just, if he's not the best receiver in the NIFL, he's on a short list of the top 3 for sure.
Coach Jack Phillips Jr. gives the play to Doug Coleman. We're ready to go. 2nd and 2 from the Oklahoma 8. Here's a handoff inside to Chestnut, who'll get down to the 1. He's upended, but it'll be 1st and goal. Darian Chestnut. For his first carry of the night, he does a good job.
Well, he wanted to get into the end zone. That's why you see him talking to himself a little bit. But Chestnut, who's usually in the backfield as a blocker, one of the 3rd or 4th options as a receiver, gets it down to the 1.
1st and goal. We've seen the Bucks struggle a little bit down this close to the goal line, although they have converted in after a couple of plays. We'll see if they can knock it in here on the first try from the 1-yard line. Coleman hands to Dunn. Dunn goes left, and he is into the end zone. His 4th touchdown of the night. Jarvis Dunn. And the Bucks answer right back. A late flag thrown against Oklahoma. That's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, it's Vernon Turner, number 13 for Oklahoma. Loses his composure and gets on an official here at the end of this play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now, the reason that Vernon Turner was yelling is that he felt like he was being held by Darian Chestnut. the official did not throw the flag, and that was really the key block to Spring done in the end zone. He lost his composure, and he got called for the penalty.
Chris Strapola, extra point again is good. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Houma 45, Oklahoma 19. It's the Bayou Bucks trying to get that home field advantage, as you see Dunn on the left side into the end zone. Right here on Cox Sports Television.
They had a very good halftime show, and will probably be voted once again the best dance team in the NIFL. They won that award last year.
They get my vote. I don't know if mine counts, but I'll vote for them.
And my favorite was last week at halftime. They did a Michael Jackson halftime show where they dressed up, kind of did the Thriller video. They had all the makeup and everything on. It was great. They dressed up like they were ghosts and then changed into clothes. I mean, it had a wardrobe change in the middle. I mean, it was a good show.
I could have went somewhere with that.
Yeah.
I'll be nice.
Love that Michael Jackson. Fantastic.
Well, when you said Michael Jackson show, I thought maybe I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
First and 10, Oklahoma from their own 11-yard line. Bayou Bucks in control, 45-19. Wooten wants to throw. He rushes right, releases it to Kenya, who will be wrapped up by Dorsey and dropped. Nice job by David Dorsey, the linebacker for Houma.
Well, he went from a gain of about 4 to a loss of 2.
Super job by Dorsey. 6'1", 235-pounder. Played at Tulane. You'll see him. He's reading the back out of the backfield, and when Wooten gets it to him, guess who's going to be right there?
He's at the 15-yard line when he finally catches it, but then he gets tackled at the 14. I mean, he gets tackled at the 9, excuse me.
2nd and 11. Wooten under pressure, he'll just unload it, and it'll be picked off by Leonard Mack. Mack will lateral it on the left side of Drew Email. Touchdown, Bayou Bucks. The defense puts some points on the board for the first time tonight. It's Drew Email finishing it off after the Mack interception, and the Bayou Bucks are pouring it on the Oklahoma Crude.
That's what the Bucks are known for. That defense had the shutout last week. That's what Jack Phillips wants to see from his squad. He got the pressure, was forced a bad throw. Mack with the interception, and then they've become lateral masters. Watch this, good pressure once again by that defensive unit. He's just trying to get dump it and throw it in the dirt. And Mack is Johnny on the spot. A good flip to Email, a good block by Mack, and an easy touchdown.
Smart play by Leonard Mack. Get rid of that. Give it to a guy with a little bit more quicks, and Email puts it in the end zone. So once again, Stropolo out to attempt the extra point. He's got it between the posts again. Strapola adds to the lead. As you see Mack with that smart play we were talking about. And Email takes it right into the end zone. The crowd loves it here tonight at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. With Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Kreis, and it's Houma Bayou Bucks football right here on Cox Sports Television. Strapola with the kickoff. He boots a low one across the ground, and it is picked up by Kreiner. He's got running room. He's into Bayou Buck territory before Dorsey will wrap him up and drop him. And Oklahoma will get some good field position. You know, speaking of the Zephyrs and the Astros, Kurt Bullinger went to Rummel High School in Metairie, played his ball at Southeastern Louisiana, was on a regional team for the Lions back in '92. Called up by the Astros last week from the Zephyrs and got his first win in many years in the big leagues. Had one many years ago at Montreal. But Kurt Bullinger, another local guy with the Astros, who played a lot for the Zephyrs out there at Zephyr Field in Metairie.
And Kirk really deserved to get called up. He's not a hard throwing guy, so he doesn't impress you that way, but he throws a lot of strikes. A very good pitcher, and glad to see him back up in the majors where he belongs.
Wooten throws it over the middle. The ball's batted around incomplete. Tried to get it to Andre Roy. Coverage by Email. In fact, Kurt Bullinger is responsible for Southeastern's brightest moment in NCAA regional action, an 8-0 shutout win over Hawaii out in Tucson back in 1992. So the former Rummel and Southeastern Lion now up with the Astros after spending some time with the Zephyrs. 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma. Dixie Wooten, the quarterback, he pretty much has taken a beating out here tonight. But he's standing in there. He's still ready to go. Dorsey on the blitz is chasing him. Wooten gets away, throws complete to Frederick, the big tight end, who's got a first down and a barrel into the end zone. Touchdown by Calvin Frederick, as he did the last 10-12 yards of that on his own. What an effort by Frederick.
Calvin Frederick, from parts unknown, has been one of the bright spots for Oklahoma tonight. That's his 2nd touchdown.
Using up all of that 4 and 2 on that jersey. Good job by Wooten. You talked about him, Ronnie, escapability, and look at this, from about the 14-yard line.
He could smell it, couldn't he? He was not going to be denied.
Mack tried to push him down. That was not going to work. Maraviglia on for the extra point. His kick is up and is good, and it wasn't tipped at the line. So how about that, as Oklahoma gets on the board again. But the Bayou Bucks still have them doubled up, 52-26, with 2:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, you see Dorsey flushing Wooten out, and then Wooten finds the big guy.
I'm saying 6'2", 295.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Something like that. Well, you can check out the Bayou Bucks in the playoffs July 15th. Get your tickets now, 985-851-3600. 985-851-3600. The Bucks going to be hosting their first ever playoff game, and this is going to be the building to be at. The Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, capacity between 3,000 and 3,500, and it's a great place to check out indoor football, one of the better venues in the league, and it's going to be rowdy and a lot of fun. Call 985-851-3600. Get your tickets today.
Be part of that crowd having fun here tonight. Maraviglia squibs one along the ground again. Scheck-Snyder will take it at his 17. He's hit and decked. Caffrey Cannon, the former Alcorn State Brave, put on a pretty good hit there. Of course, speaking of Alcorn State, that's where Bayou Buck coach Jack Phillips Jr. played his college ball as an outstanding player for the Braves of Alcorn State.
And then was an All-American in the SWAC, 1AA ranks, and then went on to play for a number of different leagues. Was drafted out of college by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 9th round of the 1989 draft. So Jack, and then Jack was playing up until about 1999 or so in some minor leagues and indoor leagues, and got into coaching and has done a great job here in Houma.
He's a real good guy too. Coleman, with a rare carry of the football, will get about 2.
He won't do that again because he got pummeled.
Coleman would much rather throw it than run with it.
Well, we don't have a 71 on our roster, but they've got a 71 on the field, and he just put a licking on Doug Coleman.
That he did. Under 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Houma's in control, 52-26, but in indoor football, if you fall asleep for a little while, the other team can put a bunch of touchdowns on the board in a hurry. Coleman from the shotgun on 2nd and 8. Play action. He wants to throw. Coleman looking, going to fire long, looking for Chestnut. Touchdown, Bayou Bucks. Darian Chestnut with a leap and grab at the goal line, and it's the 4th touchdown pass of the night for Doug Coleman. Got to keep applying the pressure, and Doug Coleman and the offense are doing just that.
Another good play fake, and then a long good throw, and a great catch by Darian Chestnut. Almost got in the end zone earlier rushing the football. That time he does make it in with a great catch.
Once again, Chris Strapola on to attempt the PAT. Drew Email will hold. The kick is up, and it's between the posts. Our score, Houma 59, Oklahoma 26. As you see, Coleman to Chestnut, taking this out of here. Coleman throws a nice football, nice tight spiral, put it where Chestnut could go up and get it. Touchdown, Bayou Bucks.
Now Darian Chestnut gets in. I mean, the Bucks have a ton of good receivers. What about Scheck-Snyder and Chestnut and Kevin Hurd, who's one of the top receivers in the league, and also Devon Lockett and Aubrey Jones. I mean, they have got a very good offense, a lot of different weapons, and they can't really focus on one guy. That's what makes Houma so good.
We've got a lot of talent out there. There's no doubt about that. Strapola will kick off from the goal line. Bounces around, picked up by Roy at the 10. Roy will get it out just short of midfield before he's wrapped up and dropped. Sullivan Beard. Denro Cloud also helps out on that kickoff coverage unit. And they'll put the ball at the 23-yard line, where Oklahoma will play first and 10. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter.
Now the Bucks continuing to apply the pressure. 59 points. They have scored 74 last week, had 84 earlier in the year against Tupelo at home. The lowest output of the year was in a victory on the road at Lake Charles, where they had 39.
Here's a pass over the middle, complete to Chester Lewis.
Now there's Franklin Thomas right there in the middle in the tan shirt. A former very good Houma Bayou Buck, was a defensive line coach last year and a great player for many years in the AF2 and indoor football, and now the assistant coach for the New Orleans Voodoo, defensive line coach for the Voodoo, and did a great job as helped lead them to the playoffs this year. But one of the all-time greats in the indoor leagues and Arena 2 leagues as far as linemen are concerned.
On the final play of the third quarter, Wooten throws complete to Roy, who's wrapped up and dropped quickly by Leonard Mack. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. We've got 1 quarter left. Our score, the Houma Bayou Bucks 59, the Oklahoma Crude 26. With Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Chrysan on Cox Sports Television. 59-26. The Bayou Bucks on top of the Oklahoma Crude here, the final regular season home game for the Bayou Bucks. The Crude will play 2nd and 7 from the Houma 13-yard line. They switch ends as we start the fourth quarter. Wooten under pressure, he's sacked. Richard Griffin does the job, dropping Wooten in the backfield. It's a loss of 7 yards. So give Griffin the 7-yard sack.
Griffin has been very active tonight. The defensive line has been getting after Wooten, as they are just far superior than that Crude offensive line.
Griffin 6'3", 305 out of Virginia Union. 3rd and very long. 3rd and 14, I should say, for Oklahoma. From the shotgun, Wooten wants to throw. Wooten gonna run. He'll slide down to the 13-yard line. He's belted by Denro Cloud. He's well short of the first down, so it'll be 4th, and we'll see what Coach Steve Gale of Oklahoma wants to do.
Well, he went for it on 4th and short in his own territory early. I mean, down a ton. Might as well go for it, and he is.
He'd probably like for his foot to feel better.
Yeah. I tell you what, that bus ride back home is going to really feel good on that foot.
I would not want to ride a bus to Oklahoma tonight, but those fellas will do it. Wooten to throw on 4th down. Wooten under pressure. He's scrambling. He's now going to fire it, and he's got a touchdown to Frederick, the big tight end. Found him in the back left corner, and it's an Oklahoma touchdown. Coach Jack Phillips doesn't like something, but I see no reason why the touchdown won't stand. Calvin Frederick with another touchdown catch, his 3rd of the night.
Yep, give Oklahoma credit. You know, they keep battling right here to the end. They could have easily packed it in, but Wooten continues to keep working hard and buying time and finding receivers. Avoids a sack right there and then fires in the end zone. That's a third touchdown catch of the night for Calvin Frederick.
Maraviglia on for the extra point. Penalty flags fly prior to the snap. I tell you what, Ronnie, Calvin Frederick is the deep snapper here on the extra point. So it's not often when you see the guy that catches the touchdown snap for the extra point.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, to say the least.
Limited roster. Everybody's got to pull double duty, and Calvin Frederick is earning his 200 this week.
He'll snap it again. And Maraviglia, Chris Maraviglia, will attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Our score now, Houma 59, Oklahoma 33, 12:46 to go in the ball game. The Bucks trying to get home field in the NIFL playoffs.
Well, the Bucks are approaching their season average. They average about 64.5 points a game. They're at 59 right now. But the flip side of that is that they give up a lot of points. Because the opponent gets it a bunch. They average allowing about 47 points a game. So doing a pretty good job of that. Actually, that average is with 47 is not counting last week in the shutout. That average would drop, obviously.
Look at a couple of the Bayou Bills helping entertain the crowd here tonight at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center as we await the Oklahoma kickoff. Houma Terrebonne, a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. For more information, go to the website www.tpcg.org. And we're at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, South Louisiana's favorite show place and proud home of the Bayou Bucks. They invite you to come enjoy a football game or many of the other events held here like Broadway shows, family shows, concerts, and more. For a list of upcoming events, visit the website www.houmaciviccenter.com. Sullivan Beard from the goal line. Hesitates and then breaks up near midfield before he's brought down by Vernon Turner. And of course, the Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau doing a fine job in the Houma area. In the Hampton Inn and Suites of New Orleans Convention Center, you'll always be satisfied when you stay at a Hampton Inn. Hampton Inn and Suites, New Orleans Convention Center. Check them out. First and 10 Bucks from their own 24-yard line. 12.5 minutes to go in this ball game. And Doug Coleman still in at quarterback for Houma. From the shotgun, Lockett in motion. Here's a handoff to Chestnut. A little twist and turn and gain about 6 or 7 yards. Nice run by Darian Chestnut. Good call by Jack Phillips Jr., mixing it up a little bit.
Chestnut getting into the mix. You know, we heard from Coach Jack Phillips at halftime that they were going to play a lot of different people in the second half and a lot of different positions, and we're starting to see that. A lot of different folks catching and running the ball.
Coleman wide open. Kevin Hurd, touchdown.
How do you forget about him?
21-yard touchdown pass. Coleman's 5th of the night to Kevin Hurd. And the Bucks answer again, putting more points on the scoreboard. They now top their season average. You see Coleman taking the snap. He looks at a wide open, 2 guys wide open, really. Coleman had his pick, and he chose Kevin Hurd.
Now Kevin Hurd gets another touchdown catch. I don't know how you can ever not know where number 1 is on the field.
Chris Strapolo on for the PAT. It's good, and once again, Houma has doubled up Oklahoma, 66-33. 11:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. As you get a look at the easy toss from Coleman to Hurd for the 6 points. Cox Sports Television made the tackle, and Oklahoma will go on offense.
Well, the Bucks have doubled up the Crude. 33-66 the score. Kevin Hurd picked up his second touchdown catch of the night. Now 34 touchdowns receiving on the year.
Wooten from the shotgun. Looks long over the middle. Broken up by Email. Almost caught on a tip drill by Lewis, but Drew Email got enough of it to make it incomplete. You see the pass. Good throw by Wooten. Email tipped it, and then it actually hit the hand of Lewis, but by virtue of the fact that Email tipped it, Lewis couldn't pull it in. 2nd and 10, Oklahoma from their own 22-yard line. There's Chester Lewis, the former Mississippi State Bulldog. Low snap, Wooten will adjust. He's under pressure. Griffin will sack him back at the 10. What a job by Richard Griffin, his 3rd sack of the night.
Another hat trick for Big 75.
He's been close a bunch of other times. So he's playing a whale of a ball game.
Griffin is having quite a day against Lamont Robbins.
Robbins threw one of those lookout blocks. He let Griffin go by, and he turned and yelled, "Look out!"
And they've taken Lamont Robbins out of the ball game, number 56, right after giving up that sack. So
lookout block.
The coaches have inserted that mystery 71, who's not on our roster. He's on the left, that left guard.
3rd down and very long. Wooten under pressure again will get away. Now he'll toss it.
Another
illegal touch. He threw that to a lineman, and I see 3 flags on the field. They want the result of the play incomplete, I'm pretty sure. Got a Bayou Buck player shaken up. That's Kentrell Blatcher, the former Southern Jaguar, who's down, pulled his helmet off. He appears to be in pain as the medical staff quickly gets out there. We hope it's not serious. It'll be 4th down after the medical staff tends to Blatcher. Let's take another look at the play. Wooten got to do some dancing. Didn't quite see what happened to Blatcher there. I see him on the ground.
Well, he got blocked down, and then as he was...
They're going to help him up. He appears to be okay. He'll get off under his own power. That's a good sign. It looks like he could be a guy that could return to the game later. So it's 4th down. Got to be a kick situation, I would think, for the Oklahoma Crude.
And that has been... The kick game has been an adventure, to say the least, for Oklahoma.
And Sullivan Beard, I would think, is going to get some kind of return out of this. I don't know that.
If it reaches it.
Maraviglia, yeah, if he clears the line. Block. Into the stands, another fan gets a souvenir. That kick was blocked, never had a chance. That was a lucky fan with a souvenir football he could take home.
Troy Davis, number 65, a center, 6'3", 300 pounds. I think he's in there for Blatcher. He gets a piece of it and mocks it.
He got a lot of it as he batted it all the way into the stands. It'll be 1st and goal for the Bayou Bucks inside the 2-yard line of Oklahoma. 8:54 to go in this ball game. 66-33.
Well, tune in to Cox Sports for a weekend packed full of outdoor adventures. On Saturdays, it's Chef KD's Outdoor and More at 8:30 a.m. And then at 9:30, Between the Banks with Bob Gorgeous. Then on Sunday at 7 a.m., it's Paradise, Louisiana, followed by Big Fish, Go Fish, and the Woods and Water Outdoor Show with Tommy Wilcox. That's great Gulf Coast outdoor programming right here every weekend on Cox Sports Television.
First and goal for the Bayou Bucks. We'll call it the 1 yard line. Ball just inside the 2. With 8:54 to go in the ball game. Houma trying to add to a 33-point lead. Doug Coleman at quarterback, the big guy who played at Eastern New Mexico. Play action, Coleman throws, touch in and out, another touchdown. Schexnayder couldn't hang on as it fell to the turf. Thought he had it for a second, but it's incomplete. And it'll be second and goal. Aubrey Jones in the ball game at a receiver position. He's the backup quarterback to Doug Coleman. You get a look at some of the big linemen. Lane Evans.
Well, Doug Coleman has been a workhorse this year, and you haven't had a chance to see a whole lot of Aubrey Jones, who's got a big-time arm in his own right, because Doug Coleman's been pretty healthy all year long and has battled through all kind of nicks and pains, including a broken bone in his left hand.
Touchdown, Jarvis Dunn, his 5th score of the night. He went off the right side behind a good blocking surge over there. And it's yet another touchdown for Houma. And once again, Chris Strapola will come out. The Buck crowd happy with that one to attempt the PAT.
Well, let's take a look at the guy with the horns on his helmet if we get a chance to see that. My goodness.
There's 2 guys like that in this building, which is twice as scary.
That's
right in the bottom of your screen there. I didn't know horns could grow on a helmet. Strapola hit the upright and bounced in. So it hit the one ref doesn't know it hit the upright. I got to ask you. See, look, he doesn't know it hit the upright. Now they're going to say it's good. 73-33. There's the horn.
Is that an 8-point? I mean,
you got to score that, Ronnie.
I mean, that's 8, isn't it? I mean, I'm not a hunter.
You got to score it. You don't know how to score that?
No. Is that a good rack, a medium rack? What is that?
I've seen some racks here tonight. I don't like those racks. No, there's a way you score that. That's what it's called in hunting terminology.
You got me. I just tune into Cox Sports Television.
Watch you got to watch some of the outdoors show so you can learn how to score those horns.
Yeah.
You got to do that, Ronnie. Right?
I got to. I know. I'm watching.
There we go. Look, that's 3 racks in that screen. Houma will kick off. Strapola. He's been working a lot tonight.
Yes, he has. Stropola's been very good tonight. He's been very good all year, including in the first quarter, the first score of the game, a 58-yard field goal.
He kicks the line drive here. That'll go to Roy. Bounces off the back wall. He'll come out of the end zone. We'll get it out over to 15 before Mack will wrap him up and drop him. Where it'll be first down for Oklahoma. Dixie Wooten. Got to give him a little credit tonight. He's taking a beating, but he keeps going out there.
Ronnie Rance along with Tommy Chrysan with a K from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center as the Bayou Bucks are
40-point lead.
Once again putting up a big number. They had 74 last week, 73 this week, and game's not far from over.
Wooten wants to throw. He'll dance around and fire complete to Roy. Tackled by Dorsey right near the first down marker. David Dorsey makes the stop. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. They're going to mark it just short of the first down. It'll be second and inches. But the Crude are down by 40 with about 6:35 to go in this game. They got a lot of points to get in a hurry if they're going to get back into this thing. Wooten pumps. Got some time. Now he's got to scramble, and he'll be sacked by Griffin again.
Got to get rid of the football.
Richard Griffin does the job, sacking Wooten for a big loss. And they go from second and inches to second and 9, so it's an 8-yard sack as Griffin has played a whale of a ball game on the defensive line for Houma. As we get under 6 minutes to go in the game. It'll be third and very long for this Oklahoma offense.
Got to get the snap ball. 5 seconds to go.
Just did get the snap ball.
Offense.
Wooten will be pushed out of bounds far side. Matt DeRoche, former colonel of Nicholls State, did the job over there. We do have a flag down on the near side.
And offsides on one of the receivers across the line of scrimmage before the snap.
I would think Jack Phillips Jr. will decline that penalty. Take the result of the play. And the best thing right now for Houma would be let that clock keep rolling. 5:21 to go in the game.
That would be best.
Coach Phillips says, hey, decline that one. We'll take the result of the play. And it'll be 4th down. And Oklahoma will use their first timeout here of the second half.
Okay.
5:21 to go. Jack Phillips Jr. will talk to the defense.
Well, it is a big play for them. I mean, on 4th down, they've been kind of in disarray and disorganized as far as personnel and getting the snaps off and got offensive penalties. So take a timeout, regroup, hope everybody's on the same page, throw it up, and somebody catch it.
I don't know what they'll do on a 4th down. They need to pick up at 11 yards, we'll call it. The ball's laying on their own 17. Steve Gale, the head coach right there in the gray hat.
He's playing through pain.
He's playing a little hurt tonight with the bum left foot or ankle. Got the crutch going. But he's coming up with some kind of play, something to get 11 or more yards.
It's the Crude with 1 win on the year, and this probably the last game in the team's
they beat the Waco
history.
Marshals.
Yeah, they beat.
That's the team Houma shut out last week.
Yeah, which isn't much to say, but they played a lot better tonight, especially for about the first quarter and a half. They gave the Bucks all they could handle, and then they played well in spurts.
We're going to get a look at this 4th down play. They've got to get just beyond the 22 of Houma.
Next week, Houma will travel to Tupelo. That's a place that they lost at back on March 12th. First game of the year, they lost at Tupelo, 58-50, but I've beaten them twice since. This will be the 4th time those teams have played.
And Wooten will be sacked on the 4th down play. Blatcher in there along with Griffin again. What a night for Griffin. And that 4th down play just did not work, and it's a huge play for the defense of the Houma Bayou Bucks. As you'll see Wooten take the snap. He begins to look downfield, and then he realizes, hey, I've got no time, I got to move. And then here comes Blatcher and Griffin, and down goes Wooten.
Well, Wooten has got to be, he's going to have nightmares tonight of big green men chasing him, because he has been harassed all day long by that hard-working defensive line of the Houma Bayou Bucks.
1st and goal. Houma from the 2-yard line of Oklahoma. Coleman, play action, going to roll left. Now he's going to come back right. Directing traffic, throws one. Touchdown, Aubrey Jones.
Penalty.
And we got a late hit, a late flag. I believe a late hit on Coleman. It's a touchdown. Coleman to Aubrey Jones. That's a 2-yard touchdown pass, and it's more points for the Bayou Bucks. Late penalty. I believe it was roughing the quarterback. I saw a little activity after Coleman threw it. So Chris Strapola will come onto the field to try to put the 80th point of the night on the board.
That was Anthony George, number 66, big lineman who played his college ball at Southern, who was called for the penalty.
Strapola, the left footer, former Nicholls State Colonel. We'll try to put the 80th point of the night on the board for Houma, and he does just that. With 4:15 to go in the ball game. Houma 80, Oklahoma 33. With Ronnie Rance, I'm Tommy Kreis, and you see Coleman to Jones here on Cox Sports Television.
Through hard work and thoughtful planning, we have established a thriving economy in this area, legendary for its natural resources, renowned culture, and friendly people. Terrebonne is linked to the global economy by its network of waterways and inland port, great highway access, and its expanding airport. This combination has created a safe harbor and prosperous location for industry. Terrebonne, let us show you why we call it the Good Earth. For more information, contact the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, 985-873-6890.
Are you looking for one location to service all your pre-employment and post-accident needs? Visit or call Occupational Medicine Services at 895 Verrett Street. We can help build a testing protocol that will suit your company's needs. OMS takes pride in delivering a broad spectrum of occupational medicine services with a serious commitment to excellence. From post-offer testing to complete injury care, your employees are important to us.
Kreiner on the return out over the 20. Where Oklahoma will get it from that point, 1st and 10.
And the Bucks with 80 points. It's season highs 84 points. They did that against Tupelo back on May 1st. They have not scored 100 this year, and they could have in that Tupelo game. Could have really made a good run at it, and they kind of shut it down at the end. 4 minutes left to go. We'll see if maybe tonight's the night.
Line of scrimmage, the Oklahoma 22. They're going to assess the penalty for the late hit on Coleman on the touchdown pass to Aubrey Jones. And so they'll play it from their own 13-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10. 3:48 to go in the game. Wooten will scramble and run, and he's keeping them legs moving. He'll get it out to about the 20. Stamps, Dorsey, Blatcher. Why would Houma call a timeout? Oh, they want 100. They had 3 left. Now they got 2 left. Oklahoma has 2 left, but they're up 80-33 with 3:30 to go in the game, and the Bayou Bucks take a timeout.
Yeah, I guess they took a timeout. They want to make sure they got time to get more. We'll see.
I would think that's what it is.
Last week, the Bayou Bucks shut out Waco. They could, maybe get 100 tonight against Oklahoma. That'd be 2 pretty unbelievable weeks.
A lot of points, a lot of offense.
Well, it's going to be raucous in here, and I guarantee you July 15th
It'll be a tough ticket, I think.
It's going to be a big sold-out crowd and their first ever home game. The Bucks play so well at home. Only one loss this season at home, none last year at home. So it's so important for this Bucks team to finish strong, get that home field advantage throughout the playoffs, give them a great chance to end up in the NIFL championship game.
It's 2nd and 2 from the 21-yard line. Clock will start when the ball snapped. Here's a handoff to Calvin Frederick. He's going to do some nifty running, take it into Bayou Buck territory, a first down and more. DeRoche finally made the stop.
Should have called that play a few times earlier.
It'll be 1st and 10, Oklahoma at the 22-yard line at Houma.
He gets Calvin Frederick, number 42, gets my vote for Hampton Inn player of the game. He's got 3 touchdown catches and has been really the star player besides Wooten.
Then he deep snaps on the extra point.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to talk about that. That's been kind of rough.
Well, the snaps have been all right. There's a long pass by Wooten, caught by a fan, and that'll be a souvenir for that Bayou Buck fan.